before we get started, I just want to point out those tips on the loading screen that Keen have added from so-called engineers or anonymous people. I just had the perfect one. Never trade luck for skill. I don't think that could be any more true for me than anything else, because frankly, half of the survival we've had so far in this has been pure luck. So this episode, we are going to continue working on this. We need to start with building a pipeline into here and coming down on this corner block here, which is hopefully going to be quite low risk because it's bounded on both sides, so I can potentially just drop down one at a time and build a line as I go. The issue with this is going to be access to resources continuously. So we have a plan. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just deposit anything that's not immediately necessary. We're keeping our food and water because last time taught us that. We're going to drill out a little bit under here and start making room for this. And then we're going to run this pipe over to the end there to start with. But then what we're going to do is we're going to always keep in our inventory space for a cargo container. Okay, and that'll be the first drop, so it goes over there. So the idea is, as we build this out, we should always be able to reach cargo, and we'll just keep moving the cargo down as we go. Somehow we'll figure it out. Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm kind of making this up. So right, we're going to use, well, they need to be able to attach to the blocks next to them, so we're going to have to use conveyor. Actually, we need to remove... Do we take it out? No, I don't think we take it out of there. That's actually a really bad idea, because it'll mess with the connector. We'll go one more over. I also want to take this opportunity to say thanks to everybody who contributed with comments on the last video. Your feedback has been noted and it's very valuable. I'm still reading through them. For reference, this is being recorded on the same day, on the evening of the same day that I published the last video, so we've only had the one day to actually read anything. But yeah, it's been good so far. Keep them coming. So we need a block, we need something here that goes T-shaped, I think. But it's also got to remain airtight on that side. Yeah, that's perfect. I'm not going to talk through this entire process because it's just going to get long and boring, so we'll skip ahead. Okay, so that's the initial run sort of built out to this space here. Now again, once I get down to here, oof, nearly fell off, it's a case of dropping one block at a time and placing in something in the block above. So the first thing I want to do here is I want to grab enough materials for, hoping I'll be able to reach properly, but I want to be able to grab enough materials for a cargo container as the first thing I do. So we're going to go single cargo, grab you. First thing we're going to do is drop down here and pray that this works out. So that's there. I'm obviously in the way there, so we drill one down. Now we're at the top here. We're not exactly in the corner. Okay, no, that's absolutely fine. We're kind of in the corner enough not to make it a nightmare, because I was going to hide it originally in this corner here, but if I dropped down there, I'd be all the way down to the bottom before I know it. So, right, this is decent. I'm happy with this. Right, so the first thing we can do is place one of our C shapes in. Yeah, that's perfectly right, because you can see through it. That's just fine. Then we need to go down one more block, and then we place our T-shape. T-shape seems right to me. Again, I can't see what I'm doing here because of the way it is. Yeah, that's clearly wrong. Let's put it somewhere I can see it better. Right, there we go. So that would be right. So I should just be able to bob that in there like that. Yeah, that seems right. Okay, and then we go... Duh! We missed a block there. That might be a thing occasionally. Here I can place my cargo container because we need more materials. How are we actually short of materials? Oh, this is where the whole build planner thing is going to become a real pain in the neck. Oh, I know why. It's because I didn't pull them for those particular shapes. Okay, so I have to remember some of these shapes require more materials. Okay, at this point I'm going to have to call the elevator and come back. So at some point we're going to look at how we can modify the piston speeds so that when we call the elevator they sort of travel at a more consistent speed. Right, let's go back to the top. I also think I know why the whole stop thing doesn't work on this, because with each command taking a 2-second pause before it can action anything, the actual stop part of that command also waits for 2 seconds, and by that point the first thing you've done is already triggered. Oh, while I'm here, there's something else I remembered as well. See, editing these videos, it really brings out a lot of things that I miss while I'm actually doing it, because while I'm playing and talking, it's quite easy to miss the obvious. I didn't share inertia tensor on any of these. I'm going to increase that impulse axis a little bit as well, because just to make sure it's secure, safe, and it can move properly. I thought it was moving then, that was probably just my head. I wonder if we just leave that in and just have like a cargo container at different points across the journey. You know, we've got like deposit points. I think that'll be useful when it comes to actually building them out. We'll leave that in. It's not like we're short on resources or that we've got like certain CPU limits to worry about. Yeah, there we go. We can get the rest of the materials there. Right. Seems safe. It's a bit of a gamble each time, but we have a survival kit now. I can be a little bit risky.
Meteor storm inbound.
Yeah, and on those meteor storm warnings, I checked and I can't see an option to disable them, not without like having to go into config files and such. So we're just going to leave those warnings on. I don't think it's going to make it much more difficult not knowing when the storm's coming, honestly. I mean, you can usually see these things coming from a mile away anyway. And this is where we come unstuck. So we didn't pull enough resources for the next cargo. So I have to call my elevator again. Right, so what do we need? We need... I forgot to do that. Oh, we didn't need to go all the way up. There's a cargo container. Back down, back down, back down, back down. Go down. There we go. Right, good. Okay, so now we need another bunch again. So, it's kind of obsolete doing that and then that, but I kind of want it because then we can just pipe out across and down to things over there without interfering with this access port. So yeah, and we keep that one free underneath in case we want to use it for something else. So, well, actually no, we keep that one free underneath to pipe down. But that kind of comes in at the right level for, you know, sort of coming across here and putting a larger cargo on. Not that we'd do that here anyway. Everything I've just said makes no sense at all, so just forget I said anything. It's probably a good rule in life. Yeah, thinking about it from above, it kind of felt like this was going to be a much bigger job than it really actually is, putting this pipeline in. The bigger job will be actually welding all this stuff up, because I looked into one of the suggestions that was given, and that's to sort of use welders. You know, put some welding blocks in. It could help a little bit maybe, but the problem is this shaft is a very irregular shape with it having flaws intermittently in it. So with it having like all of these bits here, you're not going to be able to sort of be able to move straight up. So I'd have to build a rig on every single floor, and the amount of time it would take to actually build that and then configure it and use it, it would probably end up being quicker just to do it by hand. Right, there we go. So now we have an access port for every single floor, which means when it comes to welding all of this up, we have quick access to materials, which I think is going to speed it up a lot more than anything else. We're going to need to put a pipeline across here and get this attached. I think this position for this is extremely temporary. I would like to get a clue about what I'm actually talking about right now. I got distracted. Yeah, I would like to put it kind of in the wall. Well, I think we're probably going to build out to this side actually, because this side goes towards the main hole. Going out towards the hole is kind of part of the objective of this, because if we can meet the hole at some point, probably one of the higher floors actually, we can then join up with there and have that to be like our main sort of rocket lab, where we build our ships and set missiles and things once we're done with it as a mining hole anyway, because it's a perfect little shape for it and it's going to be deep enough. So yeah, I think this is a temporary place. I miss that sound. Haha. There we go. Right. Eventually we will hopefully be able to get a proper medical room, because I still want to change this outfit. This ghost outfit's fun, but why am I moving? Hands off my controls. I am moving, which means there's a teeny tiny bit of clang here. It's so minor, I don't think it's anything to be concerned about. It's not like the whole thing's a moving grid that can take off. So I think we're okay. Right. Next, so let's get this piped in. Do we pipe it in now, or do we drill out some space there for a medical room? Or do we put it over there? I think this side makes more sense. Let's start working on that. So, well, I'm going to need to take some of these out anyway, because even though that's kind of in the way, it's kind of where it is. So to go in that direction, generally we're going to need to send some drills in this direction. I don't think we'll go full width. I think we might go... we might go about as far as we have. I should have probably put that there. Or over here, out the way temporarily. No respawn point for a moment. Okay, and now we have a respawn point again. Right. So now we can go all the way out this way, because this is kind of, yeah, this was the plan. This is generally my process, you know, sort of build a big square and then drill out what we need. Probably going to need a block in there, just because of how it is. More for the next room than anything else. I know that's on a block that's not fully welded up, but like, it's temporary. And now we can't get to it to accidentally unweld it, so that's fine. These particular side rooms are not going to be as tall as this space. We can go taller internally if we really have to. Let's get a clearly defined border here. I mean, if we want more space, we can always go out the other side, or out of this side. Right. So I'm not going to hand drill that. I'm not insane, so And I would literally have to be insane to decide to hand drill that thing. So drill takes up to 3 there. Oh, this is going to get in the way of the elevator. We'll probably have to push the elevator upstairs temporarily to get it out of the way. But yeah, if the drill's there, then we can put the piston directly on the wall. So I will place a piston there. Now I know this is not connected to inventory. I think honestly we got enough stone into our inventory from drilling out this that it's probably mostly full now and has been chugging through it for a while. Let's actually check our inventory here. Cargo containers only here, so we do have a large cargo container somewhere that's not got anything in it. I wonder if that's got a connection problem. I don't know where that is, and it's not been assigned anything. It's also got absolutely nothing in it at all. That's quite empty now, but it's only for components. Ores ingots is it's come down quite a bit now, but it was full. 100k of gravel sitting in the system right now. I don't see any stone sitting in the system. We're going to have to investigate that large cargo at some point, so what I'll do to make sure I remember is I'm going to put it on the HUD and call it investigate me. Where are you? There you are. Right, so next time we're up there we can investigate that cargo container and see exactly what's going on with that. Right, so this is welded up. Don't double click because it stays on. Drills, there we are, have ports on all sides, that's good. Right, oh, that fits, nice. So this will get us a 10-meter hole out in that direction. That's 4 blocks worth, which is what, like 1, 2, 3, 4, all of that. That's a good start for a room. It'll probably get another block on the end of it because of the sort of drill width. Can we get past this drill? And yeah, we're good. Right. Okay, that's the last one. Oop, there we go. Let's get our energy back. I forgot to let go. Right. Let's get these drills all turned on. So, is that all of them? No, that one. So, just going to turn them on. I'm just going to manually control this piston. So we'll see what this draws out. If it's not enough, we might just have to put like a control seat down and right click drill it. Right, let's reverse it. Just so we can sort of touch some of these bits again. Yeah, it's definitely struggling a little bit with like the sides of the walls, so I think we're gonna have to do the on-axis thing a little bit more. Right, let's go back out again. Yeah, we're a little short of the floor there. Just a little bit. It is struggling a little bit to get past this, but it is going slowly. Maybe we can make it a little easier for it. Yeah, there's literally nothing for it to catch on, so... Ah, non-axis. Must have been a weight of the drills pulling it down off axis slightly. Okay. Reverse it again, let's get the full distance out of it. Now the question of how we do the row under and slightly above, I think we are going to have to do the whole control seat right click drill thing. I'm going to put it there. If the ones outside in the hole are kind of on, but we have to make sure they're off. I don't want this affecting anything else, so right. Okay. Drill. Those are the ones. So we're going to call those temp again. Just going to use that for temporary things. Little drills are all off. This is good. So, right, temp drills. That's good. So on the bar below, we're going to go piston 3. That one. We're going to do reverse on that, and then we're going to do block tools, drill, temp drills off. Now I can right click drill. So let's reverse this. Instant delete. Might be a little bit more than we want, but that's fine. If we did this on each floor, we're going to essentially extend this whole thing out for a bit. That means it's going to go out more than just the 4 blocks. I think when we get up to the top floor of the ice, we want to be a bit more cautious about that. We don't want to be just drilling straight into like the foundations underneath the next part of the building. So I think we'll only do this on like the bottom 2 floors. Okay, I think we've got enough drilled out there. Right, jobs are good. Let's have a look at the space we've just created. I think that's plenty for like a medical room. The one upstairs can be habitation, main habitation. The one up from that can be some sort of industrial. And the one at the top, I'm not a clue yet. Maybe that'll be a vehicle hangar or something, because we could technically get a rover onto this elevator. Right. Start getting these off.
Inventory full.
Just deposited all my food and water. I have to remember that.
Inventory
Oh Christ. That's a problem.
Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full.
This is going to get old quick.
Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, so we've got like 63k of stone sitting in every drill. Okay, I think that's absolutely all of them emptied out. Yeah, that would be why we needed the off-axis controls on there, because the way it was right now, it got very full very quickly and got too heavy, because these things can carry 64 tons of stone. This is the last drill. After I've ground all this down, we'll put buttons down for this floor. Okay, that's right, so that's all ground down there. We can take that down as well, actually. Let's get our energy back and then grab our food before we forget, because we've shown great tendency for forgetting things. Right, food. Food. Take 10 of you. Put you near the front. And water. 10 of you. Okay, so we're fine for food and water for now. Right, where's a good place to put this elevator button? I think... Well, let's think about it logically, because we are going to build like a glass chamber around this. So where do we want the door to be? I think given that we've got a panel there and we've got a sofa there, which may or may not end up being temporary, and that's like a straight wall all the way up, which is just not the most friendly place to get out of an elevator. I think it's going to have to be right here. So that'll be kind of where the door is, which means the button should be around here. It is potentially going to mean that if we put a button panel here, we can't place the glass in that space. So either we forego all of that and risk having people fall down, well, having me, so just to get this straight, I'm the only one playing on this, having me fall down like any of these shafts at any point, because the whole purpose of a call button is to bring this down. I don't really want to keep these open. So enough rambling, let's come up with a solution for this problem. What's going to look best for the elevator? I think that, yeah. Kind of getting a bit ahead of ourselves here, because like we're doing all this before we even built the outer shell, but it's fine. Got to inject a little bit of the fun stuff. That's going to go, it's going in there eventually, so we don't have to worry about this kind of feeling cluttered here. It's not going to be in the end. Where's the doors? Oh, actually, I'm going to change my mind one more time. Where did I put that door block again? Bingo. Do we go with that? Do we go with that? That feels more elevatory. It does feel more elevatory. But that's kind of... what about if I turn it that way? Oh, actually, yeah. Yeah, we'll put it that way around. Because if I put it this way around, when it's closed, it'll prevent somebody from getting off the, like, I keep saying somebody, it'll prevent me from getting off the elevator and being tempted to just sort of stand there and then have the elevator just like bugger off without being, this door's then closed and I'm sort of stuck here until I figure out how to manually open it again. That is not a situation that's ever going to happen, but it's kind of like thinking about this from like a logical point of view. If you're building this thing, you know, as an engineer, as like a buildings architect and engineer, you would not want to have that door there and have the opportunity for someone to step off the lift and get trapped in this space. So flush with the elevator, so you can only get off the elevator when the door's open. Which we're going to have an automated door open close thing here, ideally. Okay, buttons. Button B-U-T. I can spell, I'm just not necessarily paying proper attention. Yeah, we're going to go with that one. Yeah, I like that. Right, okay. So we're going with that. And we're going to put... Do we just put like... Yeah, let's just continue this look across here. So we'll sort that button thing in a minute. That kind of works there, like that. And follow that on with that. That. And we're going for aesthetics here as much as we can, because, like, let's be real, this entire structure is absolutely completely pointless. I mean, other than it kind of being a cool idea and looking good, or eventually it'll look good, there's no other point to it at all. Because we could easily put anything that's going to go in here into the building we've already got. I mean, admittedly, that survival kit is going to be a lot safer in there than it will be up there, but equally, a spider could spawn in here, and then I respawn and get eaten by the spider repeatedly over and over again. I don't know. That's unlikely. We're going to probably put an interior turret around here somewhere to keep that safe. So, right. So we have our border wall. We will figure all out. That's going to be glass, I think. I'd like to be able to sort of have it so you can see where you're going when you're coming in. Right. So this, I think we're going to put a big number on here. So text and images. Oh, we're going to go red. Just use that font consistently. Right. So now for the button, we're going to have to assign elevator 4. Start. That's all it is. It's literally just that. So, right now, how do we make the door open itself? That's the next bit. Do you know what? I'm not sure I like that. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here, but I did something for aesthetic reasons and it looks rubbish. That looks fine. But the rest of it kind of just, yeah. I mean, I kind of like the fact there's a pipe going across there, but like that one, let's just have a bit of variety in here every now and again. In fact, actually, I think that makes sense there. Then we can go with something with lights in it. Because there's stairs there, so like, in fact, by that logic, yeah, that works out a little bit better. Okay, good. Could probably do with putting some railings across there so I can't accidentally fall off if it gets dark. We're relying a lot on our own lights here, but once we've actually got lights around, we're not going to naturally have them on all the time. Come on. Come on. Chug, chug, chug. There we are. Right, so back to the question. How do we... Do I like that? Right, stop it. I'm going to just keep changing stuff and never get to this thing. Right, we need to trigger that when the elevator gets into the right position, and only then. So what I need to do is put a sensor in somewhere, one that basically senses when that gets into the right spot. So for that, I'm going to have to be a bit sneaky. That block is not even remotely visible anywhere. So what we'll do is we'll place our sensor behind here. And for some crazy reason, it won't let you place this tiny little sensor in a block that... Is it still because of... Yeah, it's still because of that wall. Ugh. I mean, really, it's a teeny tiny sensor. Why would you require me to fully drill out the entire space behind it? Hopefully that's enough. Really? That's still not enough? That's gotta be enough now. Yeah, that's fine. Right. We either put it there. I think there makes the most sense. Because then we could just say trigger on behind it. So we'll pop that there. Rather than there. There kind of makes little sense. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to trigger on subgrids only. So let's see. We don't want to detect players. Do we want to detect players? No. We don't want an audible proximity alert. Oh, maybe we do for the moment. That's about ownership, friendly, no neutrals, no enemies. That's only owner, right. Subgrids only. Yep, triggered because it picked that up. I just got to change the ranges now. We want to trigger it only when it gets below sort of itself, because we don't want to trigger until you're actually able to effectively walk off the elevator. The way it stands at the moment, it is going to end up triggering every door on the way down as the thing goes, but we can use the timer blocks to effectively enable or disable these depending on which floor it's going to. Right, so top extent, nothing. Back extent, well, we don't need to go far back, we only really need to go like that far. So we'll go barely behind it. We're like 1.5 meters behind, because anywhere behind is in that block space that the elevator's going to fall into, so that's fine. Front extent, no. We don't want it coming out in front at all. Bottom extent, 5 meters is 2 whole blocks. We only need to go 2.5 meters. Really. Let's go like, yeah. Right. Anything over 2 meters is probably enough. Left extent. Nah. Right extent. Let's just go like... Again, we only really need to go 1 block out, so about there. That should do it. Right. Let's put some controls on. Let's name our door first. Because we've got a lot of sliding doors in here, so... Elevator door S4. Right. Elevator sensor S4. Actions. So this is really handy. Like on build info, that particular mod that we're using, the one that has the air leak scanner, it includes things like this, which gives us information about what's in each of these. So slot 1's on first detection, and then when nothing is detected anymore. So on first detection, we want our elevator S4 door to open, and then we want it to close when it's no longer detected anymore. So that's all it needs to do. So in theory, when I bring that down, that door should just open up. Okay, so it's not detected that. Right, let's check our ranges here. So info, we want to show sensor field ranges. We want to put this onto the HUD. We're out the wrong side. Left and right is the wrong way round. It's from the... There we go. Right, so that's the range it has to be in order to trigger it. And once it leaves that range, it should close that door automatically. Good, okay, quite happy with that. So we need to do this on the other floors. So that's something I'm going to do now, and then I'll come back to you once it's done. It looks like that came extremely close. I don't know if the turret's got to it in time. We'll have to check that out later when we get back up. Okay, so I got this far with the floor above the one we just did. So same design essentially. We've got the sensor there which is not configured yet. But I also drilled out the space here and then thought, you know what? This floor could be so much more. So we drilled out 3 pistons worth. So all I did was basically did the first drilling the same as that, and then retracted all the drills, popped a little block on the end of there which made it extremely close to the edge. That allowed me to step over enough to actually be able to put another 2 pistons on and then drills on the end, and the whole thing went that far. And we've exposed the ice, just the start of the ice layer here. So from the upper floor, I think we're going to leave that and sort of just use it to drill some ice here, because it's really close to the surface there, and with the curve of the planet, I'm a bit worried that if we go too much further than that on the top floor, we're going to run out of actual ground above. Yeah, because you can see there that it's actually not quite all the way up, so we have to be careful drilling that out. But that's essentially a source of ice, so we may end up having to panel over the surface, turn that, like, basically pave over it, which would be a bit of a shame because we've got some nice trees and stuff up there. Right, let's get this thing controlled here. So again, before, I think it was right extent, it needed to be like 1 and a bit meters. That should be enough. Bottom extent was about 2 and a bit meters. It's probably a bit much, but that's fine. Top extent was nothing. Back extent, I think only needs to be a meter or so, and front extent should be 0. So I think that should do it. Right, let's configure this. So this is going to be the same as before. So name S3, max size it, center align it. Padding's already there, that's good. I think we can go down as a touch more. I think that looks right. Okay, and then the button needs to be assigned to elevator number 3. Start. Okay, let's test that. So you can see the doors open there. Doors just closed. At the moment, it is still triggering on every single floor it passes by. Once we've done the next 2 floors, we can then consider fixing that. Right, so that triggered, that's fine. I just need to tell it what to do when it triggers. So we have to name this door first. Sliding hatch door, it's not going to do it. Elevator door S3. I don't know if I'm consistently naming these, but I should be able to figure out which one's which, so that's fine. Sensor elevator S3, actions, door S3, open versus closed. Okay, so we'll leave that open for the minute, and we'll go and call up the next floor. And that door should close when it gets just out of range. Spot on. I love that you can use the sensors to detect subgrids. It's great. Let's put these back in. I took these out before because they were getting in the way of the drills. So yeah, we've been at that floor, like drilling that out for probably a good 20 to 30 minutes. We used exactly the same method, so it's a bit quicker than the first time because we'd already learned how to do it. Yeah, so here's what I mean. Like the ice goes to about this level here. So it's not going to leave us much room across the top. It's probably going to have to be like a manual drill job because anything other than manual is just going to break through the surface at times. But like we could, I mean, it comes up to near the end of this building here, and it's under that tree. So I mean, we could like drill it out, but it's going to make a mess. Right, so we're here now. I think this one we're going to do a little different. I think we can leave it kind of like this because it's a safe space. There's no... Oh, actually, no. We still need to protect it from when it's open. So I think we're going to use glass on this one because it's nearer to the top. It seems to be kind of a slightly more pretty floor, I think. Can we use that space? Yeah, we can use that space.
Energy low.
I know. Can we use the other one, actually? Yeah, that looks... No, that doesn't look better. I think we have to go that way. Right, that's perfect. Yeah, that should be fine. Energy's low, so... we'll have to call our elevator in a moment. Got time, though. We're going to work on the top floor last. I mean, that's got to look good from the top. So, and we're going to have to do the these bits on there as well. We might do this design all the way around actually. It might just look a lot better and take up less space than what we've got going on there. Although it kind of works on some of these floors. Right, let's get our button panel on here. Floor 2, basement 1. Yeah, that's the one. So that's not a basement, that's the top floor. Right, good. Let's get this, and then we're not going to do the top right now. I think that's okay. I don't mind that the door's actually open. Because technically anybody waiting could just jump on, in theory. Right, we're going down to 4. See, from here it looks totally open, but you can't accidentally fall out. This needs filling in. Yeah, they close again before it becomes too dangerous to walk through. Fantastic. I love automatic doors. But they're not just automatic on a person, because if they were, you'd have a problem, because if you just made them detect players, you could open the door just by walking up to it and technically just walk into an empty shaft. If you disabled it from the outside, then you just can't get into the elevator. I keep holding that down while I'm talking. I'm not actually paying any attention to like the charging thing. So yeah, the argument here is like, do we just remove all of that and glass up to the top again like we did up there? I think it makes more space, so we'll do it on this floor. We'll leave that one, because like that one might need to be an odd one out anyway, because it looks different. There we go. Keep doing that. I'm gonna weld this up. I'm gonna keep falling on it. I might as well finish it. Yeah, that's why things went wrong. I had too many window things in my thing. How's that for descriptive ability? Okay, now we need the 2x3. So we're basically baby-proofing the place, for me. There we go, right. Good. I do prefer this design. To be completely honest, I do prefer that design, and it leaves I keep doing that. I'm going to have to put a railing around this thing. We're not going to deal with the elevator stop one this time because, like, it means putting 4 more of the timer blocks in place. But what I am going to do is put 4 programmable blocks in just to handle the elevator speeds, because that's probably a more annoying issue that needs dealing with. Do we put them down way down there? Maybe we do. There we go. Right, so the idea is that we have 4 programmable blocks, which all run the same script, but each one will be assigned to a different combination of pistons. Now, the tricky part will be remembering how all of this works. So I'm just going to set up 1 for the minute, and then I'll have a look at the script and see if there's any kind of arguments that we can use when we trigger it. Elevator piston control. No, that's the one that just basically, the one I was talking about that I tried that was a bit rubbish, and you can use it to sort of set positions on an elevator so it dynamically changes the max and mins. It's not that one that I want. 2-speed piston. It says it's deprecated. More advanced version available. We'll open that in workshop. We'll follow the link from there. Right, so if I refresh this now, configurable pistons, here we go. Right, let's see if there's any instructions on here. Oh, arguments, good. Add and edit the following to the custom data of any piston that you wish to add the script functionality. Piston settings, ignore, retract speed, extend speed. Oh, it's so you can have different retract and extend speeds. Having separate retract and extend speeds could be useful. We need to think about this a little bit. There is the other method that one of our followers mentioned, which was using math, basically, which never sounds like a great idea, but that's the way the world works, where you would use all of the pistons for every movement, but you would have to basically dynamically change the maxes and mins on them. I might have to reconfigure all the way the pistons are organized. It's quite a lot. That doesn't work. Okay. I thought maybe that would be a short way up. Yeah, so I'm gonna have a think about that over the next week, and we will sort that out the week after. So yeah, next week we'll fix the pistons. Right, we're going all the way up to the top, so this will be quite a quick run. While I remember, I need to turn off show field range. Yeah, that still needs finishing, that floor. We're going to work on one floor at a time. Starting from the bottom and working our way up, I guess. We have to consider what we're going to do with that ice deposit that we found. Okay. Let's have a quick look at the roof and just see if that meteorite hit did any damage at all. Because it did look like that came like stupidly close. Everything looks intact up there. Batteries are getting full, this is nice. Can leave that open for the minute. Nothing's on fire. That's always a good sign. Let's have a look at our new construction from here. Yeah, it looks really understated from the surface. I'm going to have to take that down at some point. Carefully. We're going to have to very carefully take that down at some point. So I don't want it just all collapsing through, so... Okay. I think we're really good here. Everything is as it should be. Oh! Okay, let's not get killed by doors. What's that big dent there? I wonder what we did to cause that. Oh, it was probably refining all that stone. Oh, we were going to investigate this cargo container. Yeah, we have one large cargo container here that isn't getting anything sort of put into it. So, yeah, this one. So let's see if I can put something in. It can take stuff. It is piped up. It's just got nothing in it for no apparent reason. It can just be considered overflow, I suppose. Cargo use is quite low anyway, so I'm imagining that our drill system... Well, that's paused. Why is that paused? And what's going on there? Oh, it's the seat that we put on it. Okay. Why is that paused if... Oh, maybe the cargo containers that we're putting ores and stuff into are still a bit overfilled. Yeah, that's quite full. So, kind of have to use up a lot of the materials we have in here before it'll start drilling more. That makes sense, actually, because since we've got a lot of materials, we might as well finish them up beforehand. Right, okay, I think we got a bit done today. Not quite as impressive as last time. But, you know, it's progress nonetheless, and we have things to work on for next time. So,